Hi everyone, Morgie Roy here again. I just wanted to talk about a little bit more about TTRPGs, specifically the D&D game that I am currently in. And I'm with a really good group that I found on Reddit, LFG. Really surprising, I know. First try too. I've got incredibly lucky because I know there's a lot of horror stories on there. But found a really good group. I've been playing with them for 3 years. And I want to tell a little story about something that was probably one of the coolest moments in the campaign that we're currently in so far. It's been lots of cool moments, but this one really stuck with us and all made us kind of go like, oh my god. So what happened was we were fairly early in the campaign. We weren't very high level yet. And we all woke up one morning. And some character stuff happened. One person's hair changed color, and it was a big thing for them. One person woke up and spit out a bunch of feathers that was related to, they were warlock, but it was related to their deity. And so a couple things happened. So one person woke up and they had a letter, and they tried to read the letter and they couldn't. It was very mysterious. It was very hard to read. They could barely make out an infinity symbol on the letter. So it was like, oh, what does that mean? That's so peculiar. What does that mean? So anyway, we all got together and we decided we were going to run a few errands, and then we were going to do our next plot point in the campaign. And so we all were in our tavern rooms, went downstairs, and we were kind of plotting, planning, having breakfast. And we noticed that there was a young adult in the room, seemed to be a student. And they were doing they were saying oh, they're trying to study for a test and they're really freaking out. We kind of overheard them, and being nice people, we asked them what was wrong. And they said, oh, I'm having a really hard time. I've got a test coming up, I've got an exam coming up, and I have to know the names of the leaders of the city. And I can't remember some of them. So we were like, oh, this is our DM. They got this really cool thing for us to try to help us remember who the leaders of the city are that we're currently in. That's really cute. So we helped this person. And they were like, oh yeah, I feel so much better for this test. So they left. We leave the tavern. We're going about our way. Right outside the tavern, there is a naked man. And we're like, oh, that's unfortunate. Not really sure what that's about. And we kind of take a second glance at this man's face, and he seems to be really scared, really confused. And we're like, oh, this person is in distress. So 2 of the male characters went up to talk to this man and try and see what was wrong. And he was desperately looking around for something to cover himself up with. And we're like, oh my god, did this person get teleported here into the middle of the street naked? That's so weird. That's so crazy. And he didn't seem to know what was going on. So we just kind of gave him, I think one of the characters gave him a cloak or something so that he could get home. Because he was very much in distress, but couldn't remember what had happened to him. So we're like, okay, that was a weird thing that happened. Okay. Very odd, very strange. So we walk along for a while and we get some of our errands done. We're just about to continue with the plot of the day, what we're working on for that day. And then all of a sudden, my character, who is Sad Emo Girl, I will refresh your memory. Her name is Violet, and she looks like this. Yeah, so my character, this sad little teen emo girl, she's on the run from her family because she has a very bad family. Think mafia family, but they're all magic users. So, bad news. And so she's on the run from her family. And she gets grabbed from behind by someone. And she turns around, so number of her family, and it's all very dramatic and oh my gosh, I'm freaking out in and out of character because oh my god, it's my backstory. It's come back to haunt me. And I turn around and I see my character speechless, and she tries to get away from the person, and the other characters all move into action. And then suddenly there's the bad guy is doing haha, I found you finally, come with us. And we attack. And then all of a sudden, there's a big flash of light. Big, scary flash of light. And we're like, oh my gosh, what happened? Like, and our DM looks at us all. Well, it doesn't look at us. This is online. But I imagine she's looking very smug at this point. And she says, y'all wake up in your rooms. And we're like, a full 15 seconds go by with no one saying anything. We're like, what? And she says, yeah, you'll wake up. And we're like, oh my God, that was a dream sequence. She's like, yeah. So the characters whose hair had changed, their hair was back to the way it was before. The person got the letter still, but they could read the letter this time. Because in a dream, one of the things that people say you can't do is you can't read in a dream. And we go downstairs. There's no student. There's no one studying for a test who's freaking out about a test. You know that thing that you do where you have a test in a dream and you're not ready for it and you're really panicky because you're like, oh no, I forgot I had this test. And that's a nightmare. Go outside. No naked man. No naked man outside. Because what else happens in dreams sometimes? You're naked in a public space and you don't know why. So we're just like all freaking out at this point. And I'm sure my DM was having such a good time. So yeah. We've never had that happen to us. I don't think our DM could probably pull that on us again in this campaign. But it was great. It was a great memory. We all had a really good time. And yeah, it's why my DM is great. And why I like D&D. Because it's fun like that. But yeah, that was a little story from the current campaign I'm in. Just a little call out for my DM. She's great. I love her. She has a podcast called Cat of Good Conversations. And I've been on it. And I've talked a little bit on it about running games and things that have happened in games. So I recommend. She probably likes some people to watch it. It's on Spotify. But yeah, that was a cool thing that happened. And I hope you're all having a good day. And if you're not having a good day, I hope your bad day is over soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.